y'all. How are y'all doing out there in this YouTube world on this weekend? Just wanted to check in with you guys, see how y'all doing, see what's going on. Hope you're having a great weekend, great day, blessed day, all of that. I just wanted to come on here for a little minute here, a little story time, yes, little story time. Have any of you ever had a teacher when you were younger that seemed to not quite like you for no reason, none whatsoever? Yeah, if you have, I can relate. I just want to tell a quick story about my third grade teacher. She was the worst teacher ever. She was the worst teacher I ever had out of my whole 12 years from elementary school to high school, all the way up until then. But, of course, college stuff was different. But this lady, top notch. What's that lady name on golly, I hope I can remember her name correctly. If you guys remember the cartoon Recess, Miss Grinsfelder or whatever, something like that. I know somebody out there knows who I'm talking about. I can't remember her name. That might be it. I can't remember. It's something like that. Anyway, Miss Grinsfelder, something like that. Anyway, moving right along. She kind of put me in the mind of her. She was like a witch. It's just mean, grumpy, and it was mainly towards me. I didn't really see her do that too much to other kids in the class, but it was always with me. And I think she had an issue with me because for some reason, my mom now, oh my gosh, they could not get me to school on time, and I was late, tardy almost every day. Oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing. But I didn't want to, at the time, transfer because we had moved from the area where I was going to school, and we moved a little bit further out, and I didn't want to transfer. So she let me stay there until the end of, the third grade year, which only had like a couple of more months or so to go. And so she let me stay there, but I was late daggone there every day. So I think that kind of got under this lady's nerve for some reason. I don't know if that was the case, but she was a real, what it rhymes with witch. Oh my gosh, I could not stand that woman. She was so cruel. She would always pick on me and want me to, she would always call on me at times when I really, if I didn't really know the answer, or I just in my mood, I didn't want to be bothered. It's like she just knew when to call on me. But this particular day, I was sick. I was not feeling good. Come to find out I had a fever. I think I had the flu or whatever, had come down with the flu. Once I went to the nurse and everything, and they sent me home, I think my aunt picked me up since my mom then were at work, and my grandmother. So she picked me up and brought me to the house and stuff, and I stayed with her until my mom got off work and all of that good stuff. So, but anyway, before that, I was just feeling so sluggish and just, feverish, and I didn't have anybody's energy. And mind you, I'm like, 9 years old, third grade. So she had a habit of just calling on people at random to go up to the board and solve whatever problem she's put up there, right? So she put this equation or problem or whatever. No, it wasn't an equation. It was some type of math problem. Third grade math. And she put it on the board. For some reason, I guess because I wasn't feeling good. My math wasn't mathing that day. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling good at all. And I tried to tell her that because when she made me go up to the board, I'm like, I really don't feel good. And her name, I'm just saying, Miss Houston. Her name was Miss Houston. And I won't ever forget that. Oh, I almost said so. Ooh, child. Okay, I'm trying to be cool, calm, and collective. I'm trying. But that woman, baby, had she tried me like she tried me all them times in third grade when I was like in the 6th grade and up, baby, she would have had a problem on her hands. She would have got dealt with. I'm sorry. And I was not a bad kid. I was not a bad student. But that lady right there, she would have got knocked all the way out in left field. I'm so serious. And I'm going to tell you why. You know, back then, you know, when I was a kid and stuff, because I'm like over 40-ish now. But when I was a kid, they were allowed to whoop the kids, you know, paddle you. You know, with those paddle boards, it's child, don't let it be the ones with the little holes in it. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the ones that know. Baby, that stuff hurts. You hear me? It hurts. Oh my gosh, you can't sit down for days because it's like they be, you know, going all the way back like they got a baseball bat and whack you. I'm like, But, you know, the parents had to sign a consent form stating that it was okay for them to discipline you, right? For them to, you know, to paddle you. But, yeah, my mom had to withdraw that consent after that. But anyway, skipping all over the place. She called me up there to do this math problem. And I told her I wasn't feeling good and I couldn't do it. But anyway, this lady, and she was a big woman. I'm not trying to be funny or anything like that. I'm not trying to shame anything or anybody because of their weight. No, I'm not. I'm just letting you know she was a big woman and she had big hands. Mind you, her big old hands around my little neck. Yes, she did that. Because I'm up here at the board and I just stood there and I started shaking because I wasn't feeling good, y'all. I needed to sit down. I felt like I was about to black out or something. And she wasn't trying to hear me. She's like, you know, but she didn't care. Like, just do the problem because I told you to do it and you need to do it now. And I'm like, Miss Houston, I can't. I don't feel good. I need to go to the nurse office. I'm not feeling good at all. I had my head down on my desk too. And I think that's another reason why she called on me because she was like, you know, I guess that irritated her soul. And she felt like I wasn't paying attention on purpose, which that was not true. So this bleeping lady with these big, large hands put her hand around my neck and pushed me up to the chalkboard even closer, like had my face up to the board like this. Oh my gosh, I was so embarrassed. I started crying. I sure couldn't do the math problem. Then I was crying and everybody in the class was like, you can hear them gasp. Like, what the heck? You know, because I ain't ever seen her do that to a student either, but she did it to me. She got so fed up with me because I kept telling her I couldn't do the problem. I could not even comprehend it because I was not feeling good. I was sick. You know, I just need to get out of there. I need to go home. I needed to take some medicine. I need to go to the doctor or whatever. She wasn't trying to hear that. And when she not only just grabbed me by my neck and pushed me up to the board, this bleeping lady was squeezing my neck like she's squeezing a tube of toothpaste. And when I tell you that hurt, I'm already, you know, feverish, feeling sore. And, you know, like I said, I did come to find out I had the flu. My body was already aching. And this stupid woman grabbed me by my neck and pushed me up to the board and squeezing it. Like, baby, what you trying to get out of me? Like, you trying to squeeze out a package, a jam, a jelly. I couldn't believe this lady did that. And in front of the whole class, I was so freaking embarrassed. And I didn't do the problem. I just dropped the chalk. I said, that's it. You know, this lady has, oh my goodness, she has pushed my buttons. She lucky I wasn't grown because I probably would have towed her up and whooped her all over that classroom. I sure would have. I mean, she better be glad I was just a kid because she wouldn't have got a chance to do that because I'd have towed her tail up. You hear me? You don't put your hands on anybody. Even back then, you know, you had consent to whoop students. You had the consent from the parents to paddle them. But she had no business putting her hands on me. This lady literally put her hand around my freaking neck and pushed me up to the chalkboard. I won't ever forget this. This been like over 40, you know, yeah, a little over 40 years ago. And close to 40 at least, that this happened. And it has lived with me ever since. I mean, it literally did something to me because that was embarrassing and that woman hurt me. My neck hurted for so long. But let me tell you this. After she did that, then she, you know, I told her I need to go to the nurse and she was still kind of upset and like Like, what you upset for? I'm the one upset, crying, and embarrassed after you just embarrassed me in front of my whole class. And number one, I'll speak on this probably again too. She always tried to embarrass me. For some reason, this woman always tried to embarrass me. And it was ridiculous. It's like she just had some type of vendetta against me or something. I don't know what was wrong with this heifer. But she's the worst teacher ever. I could not stand her. That is one teacher, and I like mostly all of my teachers pretty much. There was some I didn't kind of like, but they were nowhere to the degree of this mother sucker. Okay, let's just say that they were nowhere I could deal with them, but her, oh my gosh, if I had a 2x4, I'd have knocked her clean across that room. You hear me? Knocked her out. And y'all probably like, girl, no. If y'all in that classroom at the time and you seen what I had to go through every day with this lady, I dreaded going to her class. I hated it, every second of it, because it's like she always was picking at me every freaking time. When we do flashcards and stuff, she always made sure she gave me the hardest one to do. You know, it's like she just tried to make my life a living HE double hockey sticks. I'm like, for what though? Why do I have to run across these, I'm trying not to say nothing too ugly, but she was a very ugly person. I don't know if she's still around or not, but whether she is or not, I could not stand that woman. I hope she didn't teach long after that, but make a long story short, I told my mom and my grandmother when they got home, and I told them what this this witch did to me. And I told them from the top to the bottom, every detail. And they were like, oh, no, baby. She gonna wish she'd never done that. And my mom was gonna come up there. She lucky my mom wasn't able to come up there because she had to work well, I didn't go back to school the next day. I stayed out a day or two. Well, no, I stayed out a little bit longer than that because, I had the flu or whatever. But when I did go back to school, and my grandmother, she picked me up because my mom was working or whatever, and she got off work before my mom. So she's like, I'm going to go up there. So my grandma told me, she's like, when you get out of school today, you stick around. I'm going to be up there, and I'm going to have a talk with her about what she did to you. So, and my dad also called up there too and spoke with the office. I don't really know what all went on about that because, once again, I was only 9 years old. But I do know that, there was some conversation said, but I was present when she went up there and confronted this trick. That's about as nice as I could call her right now on YouTube. So she went up there. She came up there. She told me to just wait around after school for her. And when I said my grandmother, we walked on up, to this witch class. And she like, yeah, can I talk to you for a minute? Such and such grandmother, and I need to talk to you about something. She trying to act all nice. She was like, my granddaughter told me about an incident that happened here in the class and that you put your hands on her. She said that you put your hand on her neck and squeezed her neck, and she told you she was sick, and you tried to make her do this math problem. She's like, what was that all about? Why did this even happen? Why did you put your hands on her? And she trying to lie and trying to say like she didn't do any of that. I'm like, and I'm right here, right? She lying right in front of my face. And I'm right here. I'm like, yes, you did. You did it in front of the whole class. The whole class can vouch and say that you did this. You did it in front of everybody. How you going to say you didn't do this? Oh, no, I didn't do that. And it wasn't like she. And my grandmother said, you know what? Let me tell you something. If I ever hear of you putting your hands on my granddaughter again, ain't nothing gonna be able to stop me from coming up here and whooping your behind. She said, I will whoop you all over this classroom. You better not ever touch this one right here. She said, you lucky I ain't finna touch you right now. She said, you real lucky. She said, but if you ever touch her again, she said, I'm telling you this right now, and this is your warning and your final warning. You put your hand on my granddaughter again, and it's gonna be me and you. She said, I'm going to tear you up all over this portable, because it was some portables that we were in. That was our classroom for, that particular teacher. And there were several other portables too, but our class was out there. And the portables, she said, I'm going to whoop you all over this schoolroom, this classroom. She said, I better not ever hear of you putting your hands on her. You better not ever mistreat her. And she come back and tell me, she said, it's going to be it. That's going to be all she wrote for you. And you know me, I was just over there just smiling and gloating like, You done met your mansion now. I bet you stop being a you know what now. Because my grandma didn't play. My mama didn't either. So from then on out, that lady, I didn't have no other problems as far as that. She was still a little mean, but not nowhere as near me that she was previously before my grandmother had those words with her. And she didn't ever put her hand back on me, ever. Because she remembered what my grandmother said. My grandmother said, you put your hands on her one more time, and I promise you, I'm going to come up here and whoop your tail all over this classroom. She said, there ain't going to be no warning. She said, this is your warning. Your first final warning and only warning. And if my granddaughter tell me that you did this to her again, it's going to be me and you. And I'm going to tear you up all over this classroom, and that's it. And that's all. And I was so glad, I know she was looking like, I can't believe she told. Yeah, I'm going to tell her, because I'm going to tell my parents, I'm going to tell everybody in my family, you didn't have any business putting your hands on me. So, and I think that's another reason why they took that out of schools and stopped allowing schools to use paddles and to discipline other people's kids. Even though they probably do need that nowadays, but, it's just kind of hard because some of those teachers, they just took advantage of that. And I ain't saying all of them, but this one here in particular, she went overboard. She actually, not only with a paddle, but she went overboard. I didn't ever get paddled by her. She used her hands. And that was a big no-no. You weren't even supposed to do that. You're not supposed to touch no student. And especially putting your hand on. This lady literally choked me with them big old hands she had. I said, girl, you better be glad I wasn't a little bit older, because if that had happened, I promise you I'd have picked up something and knocked fire from her. I don't care about her being no teacher. You're not going to put your hand on me. This lady had some big old hands. She was a big woman. And, she was choking me, basically, squeezing my daggone neck. That crap hurt for days. That was some of the worst pain. It's like she just took all her strength and was all her frustration out on me and squeezed the you-know-what out of me. But, yeah. That's my story time of a teacher that, just act like she did not like me or whatever, for whatever reason. It's like, it was crazy. I was so glad I didn't go back to that school anymore. After third grade, I was gone. I said, Mom, I don't want to go back here no more. I don't like this school. That it's not right for me. Can I go somewhere else? Can I just transfer over here where I'm supposed to be at anyway? And that's what she did. And of course, I loved the school that I went to after that. But before then, I couldn't wait. I was like, I'd be so glad when this school year over with so I could get the heck away from here and I don't ever have to see this cow again. I want to call her something else, but, and it's only because of what she did. Not because of what she looked like and all of that. It's because of what she did. I want to call her something worse than that, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it on here. Trust me, I've done it. I've done it off of here, but I'm not going to do it on here. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. And if any of you have any stories to share about when you were in school, or if you were ever, mistreated by a teacher or something like that, share it down in the comments. I would, like to, hear your side and your story too, because that is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure it kind of still goes on nowadays, but probably not as bad as it did back then, because these kids are really something. They fighting teachers nowadays. And I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying it. I'm not putting that out there in the atmosphere at all. But, it's just sad. I just wish everybody could just get along. Teachers, students, and all of that. Because, it's crazy. A lot of these kids do need discipline nowadays too. But not like that. That's not the way you do it then or now. So you don't put your hands on nobody. That's one thing you don't. And on somebody else's kids. And, physically harming them. Like, yeah, that's a big no-no. But, girl, she lucky my mama didn't get a hold to her. My mama was finna come up there and whoop you. You know what out of her. She was finna whoop her tail. But, my grandma was like, let me do it, because I know we ain't got time for you, to do that, and you might end up in jail. She said, I'm trying not to go to jail myself. But she said, yeah, this gonna end right here. She's not finna do that. and get away with it. And you know, to be honest, I don't remember seeing that lady no more after that. Plus, I had transferred too, but I had other friends that still went there, and I didn't hear nothing else about that cow. So she might have, you know, they probably got rid of her or something like that. They should have, because she was an awful teacher anyway. She didn't teach us nothing that we should have known, and she was just a piece of crap. Yeah. So I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, but if she ever see this, you know, I just want you to know, Miss Houston, you're a piece of crap for what you did. And I'm glad you were put in your place. And this is a nice way of saying it, because I could say something worse. But yeah, you're a piece of crap. A big piece of crap for what you did. And you deserve to be fired. And if you weren't, you should have been. But I ain't hear nothing else about her. But yeah, you the worst teacher ever. You could get that award. Worst teacher ever in history, in my opinion. She mistreated some other kids too, but I think with me was the worst. And then she had her little favorites, y'all. You know how she had her little favorites. She had one and she acted like she was liking him. I'm like, that's disgusting and sick. It really seemed like that's what she was doing. And if that's what it was, you're a sick person. If she's still around, I don't know, but you're a sick individual if that's what you were doing. And you should have been in jail for that. But anyway, yeah, y'all can tell she was definitely not on my favorite list and won't ever be. So I hope nobody else had an awful experience like that. But if you did, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that, because nobody should have to experience some bull crap like that with nobody, no parent, no teacher, no nothing. That woman had no business doing what she did. And I was hoping that my grandma would have slapped fire from her behind, but she didn't do it. She didn't take it there, but she could have. And she already told and warned her that she definitely will the next time she tries something like that. It's going to be lights out for her. And she going to beat her tail all over that classroom. And I'll be sitting right there watching with my little can of soda at the time and my little popcorn, and baby, just watch her beat her behind all over that classroom, because you deserve it. You don't be putting your hands on these students. I didn't do nothing to you. I didn't threaten you. I didn't put nothing, no violence towards you or anything like that. I didn't, say that I was going to do anything to you. Nothing. I was a good kid. She was just, a cow. A piece of, what, with a T at the end. You can fill in the rest. But anyway, let me get off here. If you like this video, I hope you watched it all the way through. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you did watch everything. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And again, if you have some stories that tell, please list them below if you feel like doing that. And I'll comment on it. And my heart goes out to you if you had to go through something, ridiculous and hurtful like that. From a teacher, someone that's supposed to care, and someone that's supposed to be teaching you, but they're up here abusing you. So, yeah, it happened back in the 80s too. Probably not as much as certain things that goes on now, but who knows? You just never know in this world we live in. But I know they got, they did a lot of things back then because of the consent they had to whoop kids with that paddle. And like I said, she didn't even use a paddle. She used her hand. Yeah, but anyway, let me get off here. I'm getting sleepy. I went to my nephew's birthday party today. He had a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air party. As you can see, I have on my little Bel-Air jersey. So, yeah. Bel-Air Academy. So, I'm representing that. So, I wore that. Let me show y'all the bag, too. Let's see. Maybe y'all can see it. I can't tell. Let me turn around. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I wore that, and it was really cool. I really had a good time, and yeah, so I guess I will go ahead and end this video, y'all. I've been on here rambling already too much. I'm ready to wind it down and watch a movie. So anyway, you guys have a good night, day, wherever you are. God bless you, even after all this stuff I said, y'all. Oh my goodness. But anyway, God bless you. God knows my heart, and he knows yours too. You have a good night, good day, morning, wherever you are. All right. Peace.